Good afternoon, everybody. The Premier League returns this weekend, and that means one thing. Before it all kicks off again, we've got the press conferences. We are about to get RUBEN AMORIM'S quotes. We're going to go through them live. We're going to get your comments and thoughts on everything that RUBEN has spoken about this afternoon ahead of a big game at Old Trafford under the floodlights on a Monday night. I honestly cannot remember the last time that happened. A Monday night football for Manchester United at Old Trafford. Well, it seems to be a common thing going into December. This is one of, I think, 4 8 o'clock or 8 o'clock and later kickoffs. 5, actually, I think it is, throughout the month of December. So, yeah, busy evenings ahead for United. RUBEN Amorim taking his press conference this Friday afternoon live at Carrington. And that is, well, it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be interesting in terms of the injury updates. I mean, let's not forget, we had an injury from Kobbie Mainoo, Harry Maguire, obviously Benjamin Sesko, Lisandro Martinez and his fitness. That's going to be asked. How is everyone feeling? How has everyone returned from international duty? Did he enjoy the last break? Thoughts ahead of all of the games coming up? And obviously, all of the transfer news and speculation. And there is massive news already before the press conference has even started today. You may think it's geekish, you may think that it's not important or big news, but the PSR rules changing is massive news. I'm going to tell you exactly why right now, actually, before we get into the press conference, because this is what I've been talking about. This is what I have been moving towards and trying to explain over the last few months, maybe even going back a year here, because this was supposed to come in this season, but they waited another year on. After this season, PSR is done. There is no more PSR after this season finishes. This is the last financial year. So, here is the announcement from the Premier League. Premier League clubs have agreed to introduce a new set of financial rules which will take effect from the start of the 26-27 season. Namely, the squad cost ratio. SCR instead of PSR is the way forward right now. And systematic reliance SSR proposals. SCR will replace the league's current profit and sustainability framework, which limits clubs to losses to a maximum of 105 million over a 3-year period. As a result, this season will be the last under those regulations. Instead, SCR rules detail the club on the pitch spending will be regulated to 85% of their football revenue and net profit loss on player sales. They also state that clubs will have a multi-year allowance of 30% that they can use to spend in excess of the 85%. Sounds complicated, doesn't it? To break it down a little bit more, Premier League clubs have voted against new highly controversial salary cap rules, but have given the green light to introduce a new squad cost rules to replace the existing profit and sustainability from next season. A landmark meeting on Friday, top clubs have voted against anchoring from the 2026-27, which would have seen the amount any side could spend limited to 5 times the prize money and broadcast revenue paid to the club which finished bottom. Outraged Professional Football Association have threatened legal action along with 3 of football's biggest agencies, telling the Premier League they will see them in court should they be introduced. This is massive. It's absolutely huge. When you break this down and just read into the back end there of this, before we're getting into RUBEN Amorim's press conference, obviously, I know most of you are joining us right now for RUBEN's quotes. They are coming up at 1:30, everybody, so less than 10 minutes. We're just going through this new squad ratio rule, which is going to take effect from next season. Instead of SCR rules, the SCR rules detail the club on-pitch spending will be regulated to 85% of their football revenue and net profit / loss on player sales. They also state that the club will have a multi-year allowance of 30% that they can use to spend in excess of the 85%. To dig into it, clubs with big revenues can spend 85% of that revenue off of what they do and how they operate within player sales. So wages come into this, agents' fees come into this, and obviously value from sales. So now that Manchester United have got a structure in place and are starting to actually operate properly, with the squad ratio rule kicking in, obviously it benefits Manchester United massively because we have high revenues. Look, you still have to make this work. You still have to make this proper and do your business properly. Manchester United have not done this for a long, long time. But with bringing down the wage bill, with bringing in actual revenues from player sales now and actually working properly, the revenues that Manchester United generate should be able to give us the freedom to spend a little bit more if we want to. And of course, this is a big if. It's a massive if because you just don't know what football clubs are thinking right now. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how this operates and how this works. But we'll find out more as we get closer to the time. In other news as well around Manchester United, Shea Lacey and Jack Fletcher are both training with the first team, while Kobbie Mainoo and Harry Maguire were not spotted during the live session. So there has just been a live Sky Sports open training session. Jack Fletcher, Shea Lacey, both there. Mainoo and Maguire not. What does that tell us about what is coming from Ruben Amorim today? Are we going to get confirmation that both of them players are still not available for Manchester United? I thought Kobbie Mainoo was a minor issue and still not in the training squad. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be very, very interesting to see what Ruben says about that. But yes, we've got Shea Lacey and Jack Fletcher in training. I'm just reading through some more of this. It's going to be complicated to break down the actual squad ratio rule and everything that's in it. But yeah, it is probably going to cause a stir. Let's just say this. And I think we need some football finance experts to come in and actually tell us exactly what is the pros and cons of it. But it is better for Manchester United in terms of what we can actually spend. With the revenues that we bring in, it helps Manchester United massively in terms of, well, now we're operating properly anyway. Premier League clubs rejected the anchoring financial rule by the 12-7 vote. So 12-7 votes on that one. Preserving the existing PSR rules that limit losses to 105 million over 3 years rather than introducing a salary cap linked to the bottom club's revenue. So there was going to be a salary cap voted in by football clubs in the Premier League. This was being voted on today. I'll need to read into this a little bit more, but that wasn't voted in. So it was rejected on a 12-7. So there was actually clubs that wanted this. 7 Premier League clubs wanted that anchoring financial rule to be put in play, but it seems to have gone the other way on that one. So, I mean, salary caps, it does have an effect on the bigger clubs, I think, salary caps, because it stops them. It takes away a bit of power from them in terms of negotiating contracts for players and trying to attract players. If the player cannot go to another club because their wages are just the same as another club, then I think that power does dwindle from the bigger clubs as well. So again, there's a lot to get through, and I'll try and read into a bit of this to bring you more information on it later on as well. But right now we are just waiting for Ruben Amorim and the press conference to begin. All the quotes will be with us very, very soon. In fact, we've got a delay. An announcement has just been made from Carrington actually around the press conference. There's likely to be a slight delay to Amorim's press conference this afternoon. We should be hearing from the manager at around about 1:45 instead of previously scheduled 1:30. Stay tuned as we continue to build up to the press conference. So let's get through some other news. And that's fact. Let's just introduce the comment section. Hello, if you are live with us, everybody. If you are catching up later on, give me your thoughts on everything that we speak about today in the comment section below. But what are these fake news about PSR? It isn't fake news, mate. It is everywhere. It's been officially voted in by the Premier League members, i.e. the clubs. PSR is done. You won't be seeing PSR as of next season, everybody. It's official. Simple as that. will be relevant to clubs playing regular European football who are already capped to 70%. See, this is the thing. It is mirroring what UEFA's financial fair play is putting in place as well. So the PSR side of things, this is the rule that docked Nottingham Forest and Everton points a couple of seasons ago, and all of that palaver, that's gone. That's gone. So the Premier League's own financial sustainability rules are gone. They're going to be gone. PSR is finished at the end of this season. So we will dig into more on what this means as we go through the day. I'm sure there'll be more and more quotes coming from that announcement and that ruling that has just been brought in anyway. City buying their way out of trouble again, working hard behind the scenes, it says Wayne. They were showing a live training on Manchester United's channel. They didn't mention Spurs from, though, what? I'm not sure what that is, Daz. Sorry, mate, or what we're talking about there. Let's see what else we've got in here. Get your comments in, everybody. Talk to me on this and these new rules. I'm going to put a bet on Manchester United 2-1, but not sure who to put as first goal scorer. Might go Mbeumo. I would go Mbeumo every single time, mate. He is nailed on. I don't know what happened there, but I just seen Greg's comment there. Something obviously going on at Celtic. AGM is kicking off with the club having a go at the fan base. I've no idea. I feel quite good actually now, actually being a Man United fan, looking at other clubs and the way things are going. Let's see what we got here. Pretty sure it's a good thing for us, the PSR ruling, as we earn a lot of revenue, so can spend more. Ineos knew this was coming, hence reducing wage bills, etc. Yep, you're dead right, Cal. I did mention this before myself. Like, there's a lot of work going on, knowing what was coming, because this ruling should have really come in this season. If you go back to some of my previous videos, I was talking about this and the importance of it. And I remember I titled the video up, I put on the thumbnail, "We Can Spend." I remember it because it was supposed to start this season and they prolonged it. They suspended it another year. And now we've just got confirmation that we are moving forward and we are going to be now seeing this rule come in for the start of next season. So we're done. Whether Man United have got money to spend now in January to fit in with this last year of PSR, I have no idea. Does that change anything in the current transfer market? Maybe. Maybe you'll find teams now who have got a bit of extra cash going off these older rules could spend it now in this next transfer window, knowing that it all changes the season after. Because don't forget, PSR's ruling was over a 3-year period, so you had to sort of think and plan ahead for another year as well. And balance your books according. It's gone. That's all gone after this season. So if you've got any extra cash that you might have been looking at to try and balance out your 3-year period in the PSR cycle, you might be able to spend that now. You might not be able to spend anything. But I think it will change the minds and plannings of some of the clubs in the Premier League's transfer window coming up as well. That's all something that we need to think about. At a Stockport, Bitters getting their punishment this afternoon. I'm sure it was happening this afternoon, or am I going crazy? We were supposed to find out within the last international break, mate. That's what I heard, and that's what I was listening to on Sky. And I've still not heard anything, Gary. So maybe with PSR rule changes, all of the meetings and everything, maybe clubs have been told what's happening with Manchester. I've got no idea, but the news might be dropping. We just don't know. We don't know. If you're wondering about the Spurs reference, it was your vid info, Adam. Yeah, that's gone now, mate. I don't know why everyone's picking up on that. You nosy old buggers. I can't see anything in there at all for Spurs. Did I change that typo? I think I did. I'm pretty certain I did anyway. Just getting it up now. Anyway, yes, you nosy buggers. You are very attentive, aren't you? It won't make a huge difference to United in terms of how much we can spend, but it will mean clubs don't need to sell as many youth talents to hit sustainability targets. I don't know, Andrew. I think there's more to it than that. I think there's a lot more to it. It all depends how well you operate and how much money you make, revenues, and how good you are at selling players as well. So I think Manchester United, now that we've got a structure in place, I think this has come at the right time for us anyway. So, yeah. Let's just check on everything when it comes out. I'll be doing more on the PSR side of things and trying to learn a little bit more on it for later on as well, everybody. But anyone who's joining, waiting for Ruben Amorim's press conference quotes, we have just had word that United are slightly delayed regarding the press conference quotes coming out by about 15 minutes. And yeah, we are going to be waiting for Ruben. I think just checking through everything now, it doesn't look like we are far away. I think it's going to be another shortish press conference. We will see, obviously. There's a lot to talk about this time now. Obviously over, like we just said, injuries, international breaks, transfers, potential moves coming up. Big questions on the likes of Joshua Zirkzee and on Kobbie Mainoo's futures. Are we going to get a bigger update on Benjamin Sesko's injury as well? And of course, is Lisandro Martinez coming back into Man United's squad for Monday night, having trained continuously over the last few weeks? It's going to be extremely interesting to see the injury updates in particular. And if you have just joined us, we have already had the news that both Harry Maguire and Kobbie Mainoo were not spotted in the opening training session. So it's not like them players are definitely out. But when you look at it, you still got all weekend to train for Manchester United ahead of this game. So 2 extra days. It's not like this game is tomorrow and they're not playing or not featuring in training. It's completely different. So I think we can just look at that as maybe a precaution and nothing really substantial in Maguire and Mainoo being missing. But yeah, it's not too far away now. We're expecting the quotes to be with us within 10 minutes at least from Ruben Amorim. Lots of people talking online regarding Martinez. Martinez looks comfortable during that training session earlier, and it is expected he could play some role in the matchday squad on Monday. The big question is how hard he will find it to get back into the 11. Shaw's played excellently this season, and while the Argentine will be eased back in as well, into regular football, there is no guarantee that he will eventually take the Englishman's spot. Interesting. Obviously, the media have been invited into training ahead of the press conference as well today. Might explain the delay as well, I'm not sure, but obviously they would have had their beady eyes on certain players like Lisandro Martinez. And these are the ones that are reporting that both Mainoo and Maguire are missing from the open training squad today. So, yeah, let's get into that when the press conference starts. We earn way more than any other Prem club, and the lower wage bill will mean we will be able to outspend other big clubs based in it being revenue. We earn 70% of our revenue dwarfs a lot of clubs. Oh no, it definitely does, mate. You're dead right on that, Carl. I mean, it is going to be a benefit, I think, for Manchester United, the new rules coming in. But it's still going to benefit other clubs as well with big revenues. Manchester City's will be up there, obviously. Can Newcastle get themselves up there? They don't have as good a revenue. And again, another rich club not being able to spend money like Newcastle. Arsenal's will be big. Liverpool's will be very big as well. There is some big hitters there that this is going to benefit, not just Man United. It all depends on how player values are worked out over the time in terms of profit and loss. If players are still measured over 5-year values, it won't really make a difference to anyone playing in UEFA competitions. But the Premier League is a different ball game, isn't it? And I don't know how this is going to affect the smaller clubs. This is interesting. I would like to know what the vote was overall on this new squad ratio rule in terms of how many teams didn't like it. It seems to be a what's the name, don't it? Oh, what's the word I was looking for? Then I totally forgot what I was going to say then. It seems to be a bit of giving bigger clubs a bit more wiggle room, I think is what we're saying, in terms of this new rule kicking in. That's how it's looking to me. Paul says, Adam, every team has to play a Monday night fixture. I don't know why you're saying that, mate. I know. I was just mentioning the fact that we've not done one at Old Trafford for a long time. That wasn't my point, mate. I was talking about 8 o'clock fixtures in general across different days. And we're talking quite a few here. 5 in 1 month in the Premier League, which is unheard of and never happened before for any club. It is strange this month. Well, next month is going to be very strange. Isn't it nice going into a weekend excited about us playing again? Last season I was dreading every game. Anthony, well, yes, mate. It is definitely something new for us, and I'm happy about it. Let's just say that. I'm happy that we've got the Old Trafford vibe back anyway. And that, I think, is big for us this season. How many times have I said that already? How big it is. Today is the second consecutive day that Marcus Rashford has not trained with Barcelona due to a personal matter. On this occasion, he went to the training ground to speak to Hansi Flick, who gave him one more day of leave. It's still expected that he can be a part of the squad against Athletic Club on Saturday. That's interesting. Marcus Rashford again away from training. I don't think it's going to affect anything. It seems to be in complete control. So hopefully that is actually all okay there. It doesn't affect anything going forward. The press conference is delayed, everybody. Slightly delayed. So we're going to be just waiting it out a little bit more. I don't know if it's because they had an open training session as well, but just waiting for Ruben to take his seat. And then we can get on with it. Time right now, 22:02, so 1:40 at the moment. The press conference quotes were supposed to be out 10 minutes ago, but there is a delay. An announcement from Carrington has already come out a bit earlier on, sadly. We're going to have to wait a bit longer. And anyone just tuning in expecting all of the quotes, then I'm sorry, not yet. Just looking. I think the full Manchester United squad for Everton has been released. So yes, Man United's 24-man training squad ahead of the Everton game. So who was in training today? Lamens, Bainder, Heaton and me. Not me, it's Ben me. Dalot, Dorgu, Leon, Malacia, Martinez, Heaven, Mazraoui, Dalit, Yoro, Shaw, Casemiro, Lacey, Mount, Jack Fletcher, Ugarte and Bruno Fernandes. And up front we had Xerxes, Ahmad, Cunha and Mbumo. No Mainu, no Maguire, no Sesko, the key absentees from Manchester United's training today. But all South American contingent is back in training. Ugarte, Cunha and Casemiro, Leon as well, Malacia in there. I'm checking out everybody else. No real absentees, so it's looking quite good. All we're waiting for is probably a bit more detail on the injuries from Ruben Amorim in this press conference this afternoon. And I think Sesko, Maguire, Martinez. These are the ones that we're looking at. That's checking through all of the other news as well and everything coming out. Obviously, Ruben has done a press conference. Not a press conference, he's done an interview this week. I think I've changed as a coach. I see things a little different. I had an idea how to play, how to build up in certain ways, and I changed that. Here, and you can see this is the Premier League. We are really focused on data, so you need to change the way you do things. You need to pay attention. Of course, you want to play in a specific way, but you need to adapt. You need to understand where you need to play more possession, the way we win, some corners to push the opponents, all these things. Picking up on minor little details here, Ruben Amorim, and this was this interview that he's done earlier this week that lots of people are taking quotes from now. And again, I think there'll be plenty more coming out over the weekend as well from Ruben. So, brace yourselves for some behind-the-scenes stuff again, I think, this weekend. It's always the case when we hit the actual football again, and after a long international break, you usually get plenty of people trying to get in and get a little bit extra information out of Ruben Amorim, and I think some broadcasters usually do get their interviews as well, which is part and parcel of the sponsorship and the deal. Did anybody see the news last night that TNT have lost their Champions League? Their Champions League rights. Sky Sports have actually taken the Europa League and the Conference League now. So anyone who's subscribed to Sky will have Europa League and Europa Conference League coverage. That might be United next season. Hopefully some form of European football. But I think it's, forgive me if I'm wrong with this one, but I think it's Paramount who have taken the Champions League rights. I'm pretty certain that was mentioned yesterday. I'm sure someone will come into the live chat on that. I've got Paramount actually, but TNT have lost it. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be on a different platform and streamed completely differently now. So yeah, it's all changed regarding the coverage as well. Yeah, okay. Press conference is in effect and we are underway. Here we go. Maguire and Mainu update. Maguire is not ready. Kobe didn't train today, but we could see him tomorrow. Like I said, the Kobe Mainu situation, Harry Maguire one, we've still got 2 days left of training. It's different because we're playing on a Monday night, so I don't think that this is the last day of training, is all we're saying. On Benjamin Sesko, he is going to be a few weeks out. Not that serious. We have to be careful. He is feeling better. More or less, he will be back at the same time as Ahmad leaves for AFCON. Oh, being very, very specific there. So Sesko's going to be out up until around about I think he's saying there, it's about the third week of December by the sounds of it, because that's when Ahmad's due to leave. Interesting how we said Ahmad and not Mbumo in that one there. But United do have a game against Aston Villa on the 21st. When will AFCON players leave? We have rules when we have to release players. We are trying to keep them a little longer, but not in our hands. It will be 2 weeks before the start. Oh, God, that is bad then. If it is 2 weeks before the start of the competition, then that is pretty much the majority of December. Surely Manchester United can hold on to the players a little bit longer than that. But that's what Ruben has just said there. So, interesting. There is an opportunity for other players like the under-21s. We will see. It is not ideal. They are so important in our team. He's talking about the AFCON players again there. A chance for the under-21s to step in. Of course, today we've seen Jack Fletcher and Shea Lacey feature in Manchester United's open training session. So they're there, and Ruben's talking there about players that could potentially step forward and get a starting berth or even feature for Manchester United at some point while the other players are on AFCON duties. Table doesn't matter. It is so tight. If you know the history of our team, you never know. It will be difficult. I think someone asking him there about how tight the table is right now. Ruben Amorim responding there. It doesn't really matter right now, the table. I think he's looking at trying to get performances up more than anything. I think he's right on that because the table is tight and it doesn't massively matter right now. But it's just about getting in position. It's about getting into the mix, I think, ready for the new year. And I think the questions regarding the AFCON players and things like this, I think that's crucial right now. And I think it's the right questions to ask because only he will know what's going on. It's going to be interesting to see if there is any transfer questions coming in now. On Martinez, a smart, intelligent football player. Can play in a lot of positions, but he can't play there. Leacher is getting close to be playing, but he can't play there. I've just seen that quote come out now. Would that be on midfield? Maybe. On Luke Shaw, he can play left wing back. What a player does in that position is a little different, but he is a smart player. Hinting at Luke Shaw at left wing back. Could that be how he handles the departure of Mazraoui and Ahmad? Luke Shaw to left wing back, Martinez left centre back, and then you've got Dorgu and Dalot to fight it out on the right hand side. Maybe he has talked about Dalot playing constantly out of position, well, not on his favoured side, and struggling to always come in. Is Dalot his idea for the right hand side? I hope not. I really do. Nothing against Dalot personally, but I don't know. We are losing Mazraoui and, of course, Ahmad to AFCON. So I think Dorgu. I mean, I'm worried about Shaw blowing up at left wing back. I get why he might think that he's a good player to put there. If Luke Shaw is fit, then you just take advantage of it and you play him wherever you can. I just don't know. Luke Shaw at left wing back, I'm not sure if that is the right position for him, but we will see if that happens once AFCON kickstarts. Starting to worry now. The most worrying comment out of this so far is the fact that Ruben has said that they have to release the AFCON players 2 weeks before the tournament starts. That's a bit worrying for me. That is, I mean, when it starts, I think around about the 19th, 20th of December, I think. And that's literally the start of December. No. You can take him when we finished playing a few more games, I think. They're still going to be fit and just bring them in. I think what Ruben said there on that, though, was that they are trying to hold on to the players a little bit longer. Ruben has also been talking about his 1 year anniversary. It was moving very fast. The first thinking was the environment was different in the Premier League. There was a feeling that it was the best league and the best club in the world. We are showing that, but the important thing is that we are not forgetting that we do in recent games. Sorry, it's a translation thing there. What we do in recent games, we have to remember we suffered last year. I expect the team with more control and more dominance. Expectations are up. That pretty much is all of Ruben Amorim's quotes so far in the first part of the press conference. The big thing to take from it, like I just said, was the sending the players back to Africa, to their nations for AFCON 2 weeks before the competition starts. That, to my reckoning, is around about the 10th, 12th of December. Not ideal for Manchester United at all. So Ruben's saying there that he's hoping he can extend the players who are going to AFCON and keep them a little bit longer. I think that's important on that. He's also mentioned some of the academy players that could step forward and obviously take their chance. It's not ideal for Manchester United. Not ideal at all. So, yeah, let's see if United win that battle regarding the AFCON players and they can keep them a bit longer. Injury news, substantial injury news. I think someone asked if Lisandro Martinez could play in midfield or maybe even left wing back. I don't know what the question was, actually. I just seen the response to it. But he's an intelligent footballer, but he cannot play there. So there was a hint that Luke Shaw could be in a left wing back, which we're kind of thinking maybe pushes Dalot to right wing back, which covers the absence of Ahmad and Mazraoui, who normally play on that side. Obviously, covering Shaw at left centre-back. Could be Leach Martinez. Obviously, you've got the likes of Aidan Heaven and Harry Maguire still to come back. On Harry Maguire, he is out and not going to be available for the Everton game. And Mainu could train tomorrow. He did not train alongside Maguire today. Sesko is going to be back around the second week of December. It's not a bad injury, according to Ruben Amorim on that one. So your 4 big injury updates are Leacher is back in the squad. Sesko is going to be about the second week of December. Harry Maguire is still not back. He is out of the Everton game. And Mainu could still feature because there's still 2 more days of training left before the weekend game on Monday Night Football anyway. So that's where we are at with the injury updates at the moment with United. And there wasn't much more there. I'm guessing the transfer questions and the January transfer window, maybe even that squad ratio ruling that's coming in instead of PSR, that might have been asked in the embargoed version, part 2 of Ruben Amorim's press conference. We will see. Don't forget to please pop a like on the video as well while you're in the room, everybody. Love that, if you could. Shaw won't push himself for United and risk an injury that will keep him out of the World Cup. I mean, I don't think he's not featured once in qualification, really, to any significant level. So I don't think Luke Shaw makes it. We'll see. At the end of the season, we'll see. But that is it for the press conference, everyone. Everything covered. I will be with you again over the weekend when part 2 comes out. So let's see what happens there. But past that, thank you, everybody. Love that. Great conversation again. Extended show because the press conference was late. But get your comments in and let me know what you think about Ruben said there. Are you concerned like me about AFCON? And the injury updates weren't that bad. Cheers for now, everybody. I'll see you all later on. Have a great Friday afternoon.